Hello guys, welcome back. Happy Memorial Day. So I'm not real high energy today. You guys know I have the arthritis and everything, and I worked with Odin last night, and it was pretty wonderful up until a point, and then every medical problem I have acted up at once. And if you know me, you know if I'm in pain, just leave me alone because I am not a saint by any stretch of the imagination, and I snapped at Odin and if I apologized as soon as I did it, but I know I hurt his feelings, and Loki got hurt. Loki got offended. And at the same time, I was getting frustrated because it's like when people are in pain, they snap. I mean, if you're going to be a nurse, for example, and work with people and they're in pain, you got to realize people are going to lash out at you because we are animals. We are an animal species, and when we're hurt, we snap, we bite, and sometimes we bite with our words. Very few people can go through pain and suffering and everything and still be sweet as pie. I'm not one of them. I'm a bitch when I'm in a lot of pain. And so I snapped at Odin, and Odin didn't have it coming. Odin did nothing to get it. I was just tired and upset and frustrated with all my medical issues, so I snapped at him. I got up this morning kind of feeling scolded, and I got scolded through the room, so that might have been Loki put me on blast because it was the Canuck's room that came out. Um, I think Odin let it go. Odin's still hurt, but Loki's more of the one of yelling at me. And I'm very getting it in stereo about this is their household, and they're not sharing. They made a grand exception because they have never before in the history of man had to deal with what Americans are doing to each other currently, but at the same time, exception time is over. Back to Norse household, they don't care what happens. The house could fly away. It better be a Norse household while it's flying away. So, I got put on blast, which I should have. And so I was a little subdued, even though it's a holiday. But I got up, and they are gracious. I'll give them credit. They can be pissed off at you, but they will still work with you. So we made a little breakfast. We made some more chickens. And it was really humbling because I'm like, I really see now until I get to see visually. I really can't figure something out, but like I had chicken yesterday and I had chicken soda today. Then we got out the meat and we made like a meat and cheese and cracker and everything spread. So I made it for the gods. And no, it's not a heathen or pagan holiday, but it turned into one in this house. I made it as an offering. Had spent some time with them. I apologized for my behavior. I said, but you can't. Leopard can't change its spots, so I'm not going to suddenly become an angel. I said this is why when I'm hurt, I try to go away and be away from people and gods and everyone. And Odin's not going to let it happen. Odin's like, no, I'm coming with you. You're hurt. I'm coming with you. Loki too. Loki too. So the whole family gave me a scolding. They're like, you know better, da 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 da. But I think they understood because Odin snaps at me too. Sometimes he just snaps sideways, and I'm like, I didn't even do anything. So I think that's why Odin forgave me. And we both have to learn to play a little bit more gently with each other. So I apologize for that. And so I went on Pinterest and I'm working on these boards and I'm like trying to do like this kind of Zen meditation thing because Unan's trying to keep me away from the news for like just for today because everything in the news seems to be a major disaster today. And he's like, for one day, I want you to take the day off of news. So I go on Facebook because I really don't like Facebook. I don't know why I keep going back. I only have Facebook because there are some places that require you to have a Facebook account. And I do get attracted to groups because I am a human. We are a social animal, but at the same time, I know groups aren't for me. So I looked at some groups, but I didn't do anything. I was looking at heathens against hate, and then I'm thinking, no, you have a problem with authority. You won't listen to rules, even if they're the same exact rules you would have set up. If somebody else sets them up, you have a problem with rules. You really do. The only reason I can obey at a job or say YouTube or something is because money may at some point be involved, so I will listen. If there's a reward at the end, I will listen. I just have a huge problem with authority. So of course I have Loki and Odin as my two patron gods, because of course. And I'm on Facebook. And Lil Canuck is missing. And I just started to cry. because his buddy started to cry and I started to cry, and I think Odin got misty-eyed, and I know Loki was worried because as soon as he said Canuck was missing and it's been 3 days, my heart just dropped. I'm like, that's not good because Canuck has grown up from the wild crow stage of being a young boy and young crow and being off and doing things and going on grand crow adventures, and he settled down into having a mate and a nest. Now, as far as I know, crows are monogamous, so I was thinking, would he have like a second family, like a second nest? But, um, and to complicate matters, there's a woman on Facebook who set up a dummy Canuck webpage and posts all these lies about Canuck and posts pictures of crows that aren't even Canuck. And she's more than a little obsessed with the gentleman because the gentleman does not want to be your boyfriend, and she's not taking this well at all. And everybody's afraid that Canuck got kidnapped because this lady's unstable. And once you get famous, it's not like hugely famous. You probably don't even know who Canuck is, but once you get famous up to a point, you attract people, and sometimes you attract people that you would have been better off not attracting the attention of. So, poor little Canuck, we're keeping him in our thoughts and prayers because, I love my crows around here. Now, for me, all my crows around here are total wildlings. They were really close to me. Remember a couple years ago, they were really close to me, and I was part of the flock and everything. And then one day, they want nothing to do with me. Every so often I'll hear a sentry come around and go, "Rawr, rawr, 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 rawr," and I'll go out and I'll try to like feed them and try to reestablish a relationship, but they want nothing to do with me. And you guys know, I don't yell at my crows. I don't throw things at them. I certainly never shot at them. I've never hurt my crows. I wouldn't, because I love them. They're my little babies, but they're staying away. I still put out food from time to time, and I hope they're okay. But that's typical, that's typical of crow being a crow. And for Canuck, though, who loves this guy, and this guy's like part of his flock, and he adores him. I mean, he used to have live streams where you could depend on this crow to come at certain times and just be adorable and cute and come for head scratches or like a little bit of food or something like that. And he would bring this guy gifts. He adored this man. So he wouldn't take off from this man. He wouldn't take off from his mate. And his mate is she's acting grieved. Like she knows he's not coming back. So if you can keep little Canuck in your thoughts and prayers and casting and that. And I know there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on in the world. I'm not, ignorant of it. We're finding scraps of candles all over the house and doing what we can. But poor little Canuck, poor little tiny crow. He didn't do anything to, deserve this. Besides, he got close to a human, and I hope he's okay, but 3 days. Hopefully he's just off on a little crow adventure, but it doesn't sound good because a lot of people just don't like crows, and they get hurt. So hopefully he's okay. And it's getting better with the gods, but the Norse gods are like serious. They're like, playtime with you is over. We let the gods in. I don't know if I said this recording or not, is a exception because they've never dealt with some of the stuff that's going on in the world today. But exception time is over. Even if his house flies away or anything else happens, it's going to fly away as a Norse household. So I better get used to that. And I think that's more what the growl was about. It wasn't about you yelled at me because you're sick, because Odin yells at you for no good reason at all that you can ever discern. It was you're not getting totally on board. And I'm not trying to go in circles, guys. I'm really not. But I have a high sense of honor and integrity, and I think you always have to do the right thing. But I don't always know what the right thing to do is because it entirely depends on who you ask. So, all Norse household, cranky Norse gods, but they still love me, and I got the general impression they were pleased. I did the impromptu ritual, and they're kind of happy that I'm here, not in a good way, like, oh, it's great you're crying, but they're kind of happy I have compassion on crying for poor little Canuck, because I just want Canuck to come home. I know my crows, I love them to death. They're my little babies, even if they are brats, and I think the reason mine left is because mommy stopped being the dispenser of hot fries. And so they got mad at mommy because mommy was no longer the dispenser of hot fries. And they're crows, they're sassy little things, but I hope his little buddy comes back. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. Please keep little tiny Canuck and anyone else you could think of in your thoughts or prayers or circles or whatever it is you do. And I will see you guys later. Bye bye.